Me out here already. Let me get this all pulled up. Looks like we're good to go. What's up, good people? Welcome to Own the Chaos. My name is Brad. Guess who I got with me today? Fat Man Zoom, be back. What's
What's
up,
up?
man?
Nothing much. I got something for you. I didn't want to. You may have already seen it. I don't know if you noticed it or not.
No, I haven't
But
seen
let
it.
me go.
I don't think so.
Hold on. Look at that.
Ooh, check that out. Is that for
Hold on.
me or are you just showing it to me?
What?
You said
No,
you
it's
got
just
something
showing
for
it. No. I got something to show you.
me.
I think that's a good spot right there.
That is a good spot. You got the purple on you?
Got the Ravens purple.
Yeah.
We're going clubbing tonight. Bricked. Really bricked.
That
Oh
looks
man.
good, man.
Yeah. Oh Ray.
He was at the
Oh
stadium on
man.
Sunday. He was at the stadium, bro. I mean, we haven't really talked on air about the game, but that was insane.
Yeah, it was. It was an awesome game. As you can see, this is actually a Ravens room.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me just give
Was
you
it
a
like a
little.
little man cave or something?
Yeah, but it's upstairs. So it's all purple wall, Ravens Super Bowl. I don't know if you can see that, but can you see the? Hold on.
Big ass TV. Yeah, I can see that.
No, next that's the Ray Ben Roethlisberger. I can't get to it. Yeah, so it's all Ravens.
That's cool.
Um, yeah, man. So no, it was a good game. We were actually talking about it. Well, hold on, let me get this back. We were actually talking about it. Um, yeah, it's crazy,
Yeah.
but good stuff. Even better is the market. Good day in the market, and I know everybody's waiting for Freddie Valoy. He is in the house as well. But a couple things real quick. Let me shout out the starting five. We have Eric Brand, Sean Ethier, John Gosson, Tiger's Edge, and King D. Seems like everybody's having a good day. Chaos Crew is doing really well. Green Day. And thanks, Savvy Money Show. It's good to be back.
Yeah, man. This whole week has been wild. I mean, obviously, we had the crazy moves down earlier in the week on Monday, Tuesday, and Tuesday. I don't know if you caught in the stream. I was talking on Monday. I said, we might have to wait to see if we see some buying return or what have you. Could get a little choppy because of the Fed. And then, Tuesday seemed like it was a day to really kind of buy the dip. I personally ended up buying a bunch of stuff up on Tuesday, went in on some calls. Most of them worked out, save for Facebook. Facebook's still on my nerves, but I think that'll come back eventually. I got time on my side there, but everything else has been ripping. So, like the call to buy the dip on Tuesday seemed to play out really well. Yesterday, the Fed meeting just was crazy choppiness all over the S&P 500 yesterday late in the day. But today is just absolutely on fire. Everything's ripping, and it feels finally good to kind of not necessarily call the bottom, but just scaling in on some stuff late in the day Monday, and then also on Tuesday. It was a great call, and then it's good to see that it's been paying off.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think the entire Chaos Crew seems to be doing well. I know some people were in oil that seemed to do well. Retail came back. Gaming
Yeah.
stocks have done really well. It's been great moves. I finally got approved for options in TD Ameritrade, so I begun that yesterday, and that was nice just to deal with. But good stuff. Obviously, next week is going to be a key topic for people, and I just want to encourage people to tune in to Stock Watch Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be having conversations about what we're expecting from the week to come. Will this continue, and how we're sort of playing things out? But I'm just kind of a side note. I know you had a monster day.
Yeah.
I'm up about 4% on a day, which I'm happy for. But you're up like 12%, which is bananas. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It's
Um, but I think it's kind of safe to say, like we're quickly getting into these options.
Yeah.
TD have already gotten into a couple things. I didn't even tell you, but I got into pen options. I got into a leap with pen, and also sold some calls. So all those things are kind of moving in the right direction, which I'm excited about. But I'm also excited to hear what's going on with you on your end of options, which we don't need to talk about now, but maybe Sunday. But like, I need the 12% days. Teach me.
Yeah, man. I mean, for me, just to give you a quick snapshot, I've been kind of like treating these a little bit. And I told our chaos crew, our morning chaos crew folks, but treating them a little bit kind of like how I treated penny stocks. Because essentially that's the type of same kind of movements. Like on a day like today, obviously I'm up 12%. How could I not sell some stuff? I actually trimmed finally some of my Airbnb. I'm nice and green on that. So I ended up shaving that off a little bit. I'm down to an even 100 shares after being up, after having 120. So lowered my leverage a little bit in Airbnb, and that felt really good. It's about ready to hit 175 today, which is a pretty crucial resistance. If it breaks that, we could see a continued breakout on Airbnb, which I'm super pumped about. I closed out of my fuel cell options that I had, and again, I'm just treating it like a penny stock. I doubled my money on it, and I was like, you know what? They're going to expire next week anyway. I might as well take my money and run, and I can put it in something else that's got that, might get beaten down next week or whatever. So yeah, man, it's been awesome. The whole account's up 12%, as Fat Man Zoom said, and this feels good. This feels real good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so we'll talk more on Sunday, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're notified when we go live. Again, Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. However, without further ado, we have Freddie Valoy. Let's welcome in the house. Freddie.
What's up, man?
What's up, guys? What's up, Chaos Crew? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. Sounds like you guys are doing great. I love watching people make money. It's great. I mean, that means everybody's happy. Nobody's vandalizing things or anything like that. Yeah. 3 weeks ago, our dog became one with the force. We had to put one of our dogs down. It was a sad moment. It was my girl's dog. It was my step dog. It was crazy, man. Like, it's nuts because my girl got the dog when she was in college. And, now my girl's 33 and we just put her down 3 weeks ago. So that dog saw my girl have a lot of sex. You know what I'm saying? Like that thing. When I first met that dog the first week, it gave me a look of like, you ain't going to be here for long, buddy. Just trust me, Then we got over the bitter phase. And I like it because my girl went through a healthy hoe phase in college, as one does, as for character development, I highly recommend it. A lot of men like women with a low body count, but I like my women with a high body count. I want you to be like invested in the relationship. I don't want you thinking like, what else? What else is out there, I want my girl to get tag teamed by the football team in college, as long as she learns some lessons along the way. Okay. So now I'm like, you got to think she's grieving now, and she's a strong, independent woman that detaches. So it's tough for me because I'm very like, yay, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I got to play zone defense on this boyfriend shit because this is where being a boyfriend like counts. When shit's all when everything crumbles, you got to be there. Think I'm doing a good job. I'm already looking for a replacement. Obviously not now, right? Because she's still grieving. I Googled how long does it take to grieve a dog, and it said 2 to 3 months. Not because I'm gonna rush her. I'm not gonna be like, hey bitch, it's 2 months, you gotta hurry the hell up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do that, but just so I know what's coming. But looking up, can you domesticate a raccoon, guys? I looked it up. And you really can't, because here's the thing, you can, but the first 4 years, you have to give it its own room. You have to give it like a shit ton of attention. And if you don't, when it becomes an adult, like you're 5 or 6, it'll violently attack you. So when you look up raccoon stuff, it's just people use the word unrelenting a lot. Vicious attack, multiple people had to get it off. Preposterous. They were using a lot of big words. And I just think raccoons don't like pretentious language. I don't think raccoons like when people use big words for no reason, just to sound smart. So those people, that's probably why they got attacked, really. It wasn't the raccoon, There was only a couple that was like, raccoons are the most caring creatures in the world. They're so cuddly. And I think those reviews were written by raccoons, guys. You got to be careful. They have the opposable thumbs, okay? All right. And that's my time. Thank you guys. And shout out to Jeff P, baby. Always showing me love. Chaos Crew Comic. We in here, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, Jeff Ponica. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't even know. First of all, well done, sir. I will say, there's something to that because I don't know about tag team from the football team, but at least you don't have to teach her anything.
Yes. Yeah. I want to learn stuff too. I want to be like, take me, fucking.
Exactly. We have a couple people asking you, and I asked you while we were off air about you creating your own account, and you actually just started up your Weeble account.
Yep, just started up the Weeble account. I think I'm gonna go. I would like to buy Crocs as my first stock, and then Brad, maybe you talked about doing some more like longer term stuff, like the cheaper stuff, like Ford or something like that. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just regurgitate.
Yeah, no. So Crocs hit all time highs today, which I don't know if I would buy something that just hit all time highs, and it's actually hitting all time highs like as we speak.
Holy shit.
So usually when you buy something that high, it ends up being not the right time. So we always tell our folks to look towards buying stuff like on down days or weekdays. So, I still think that Crocs could be something that, we end up working our way into, but perhaps it could be one of those things where we just have to wait for our opportunity to get on the Crocs. So we take a look at the chart right now and it is just way up here. So we always tell folks,
wow.
In my opinion, this is the textbook boner green candle. And we tell people not to chase boners.
Wow. Look at this. This is Crocs over here. I'm putting it on Instagram so people can see. Crocs is killing it, guys.
Yeah.
Zoom in on the boner candle. Cause I don't know if that
Here's
boner does it just.
Where's it at?
Here we go. So like, this is a 5-minute chart. This is what you would call a big old boner candle.
That's a boner candle. I'm just learning this.
Right out the gate.
I'm learning finance stuff now.
Show him a firm. I just want him to have a clear boner, like a daily on a firm.
Okay.
Daily on a firm will show a clear boner.
Yeah. Here you go. So this right here, this is a firm today.
Wow.
It got a hold of that Viagra this morning. It's still ripping.
Wow. What's this time frame between that other boner candle to the left?
So each candle represents one day. So this is back on September 10th. This one right here. Then we had some selling off, maybe people taking profit or whatever. And today, yeah, absolutely ripping. And it's about
like a menorah.
Yeah, kind of does.
Yeah, it's a boner menorah. This is great.
Pretty wild.
Oh man. Yeah, so I mean this will be good, Freddie, just to kind of start obviously talking to you about certain things, but hopefully people on the channel as well could get some perspective of things we don't talk about a lot, because I think sometimes we speak to the existing Chaos Group members or the ones that have been there for a while, but there are newer traders, investors as well. So this will be a good practice for us. But what we can do is, even though we may not get you into Crocs right away, we can show you how to set alerts and also set orders. So if like, a stock hits a certain number, that's when you could potentially buy. Nice. So automated trading, things like that we can talk about. But it'll be cool because you are so green. It'll be cool because you'll have the traditional perspective, which a traditional perspective is people tend to go things that have gone up a lot, that are at all-time highs. And to them, it seems sort of counterintuitive for us to be like, oh, well, you got to wait till it sells off. Most people are like, listen, it's up 40%. This thing's rocking and rolling. Let's get in. No, actually, you want to try to find things on discount. And so we'll work through that with you. But I'm excited for you to get into it.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So we'll get into all that. We'll get a couple stocks for you to consider. Somebody mentioned last week, and I totally agree, and I think Brad would as well. Apple should certainly be on the list for one of the first stocks you get. Really factors into like how much is in your account and certain things like that. So we'll definitely keep the Chaos Crew posted, and you can bring your questions, Freddie, that others may have to the conversation as we come to the channel. So excited for you, brother. Big step. Congratulations, man.
Thank you guys. Yeah, thank both of you guys and also the Chaos crew. I got like money is something I don't really care about, but recently, like the past few episodes, I think I've gotten more connected. And I think just being surrounded by money focused people, I got to have more of an appreciation. So I truly appreciate you guys and the Chaos crew. So yeah.
Absolutely,
All right,
man.
let's get into the topics for the day. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right. So bear in mind, I actually haven't said it, but we do have earnings after hours. We have Nike and Costco. So we're going to kind of keep this a little bit tight. For you guys, make sure you stick around because around 4:00, bell rings. We'll go to Twitter. We'll check out what's going on with the movement of the charts. So stay tuned for that. Excited about those earnings. Hopefully, Freddie makes it till 4:00. He might die on us. I'm going to actually I'm going to give two because we may not have time for three. So I'm going to skip the credit one. We might come back to that. But I want to start with the latest development in Twitter. So let me set the stage. The CEO of Twitter is Jack Dorsey. The CEO of Square is also Jack Dorsey. And the one thing we know about Jack Dorsey is my man loves crypto, specifically Bitcoin. And Square has been making a lot of moves with their Cash App, and as far as accepting Bitcoin and allowing users to share Bitcoin, but also they are looking at Square as a wallet. All that's been happening on Square's end, and it was only a matter of time before Twitter started doing something leveraging crypto. We've talked about their exposure in NFTs, and now there's this news that the tips. So as an influencer, your followers can tip you on Twitter, and they're now making it available that Bitcoin can be used as a medium of currency to tip. I'm going to start with you, Freddie, because you're obviously an influencer. You obviously have Twitter, but you also spend a lot of time engaging on Instagram. I think that's one of your top platforms, and TikTok as well. As an influencer, how does Twitter entering the crypto space for tips affect the platform you engage on as a content creator? Because is this something that would really entice you to move towards Twitter? And how do you feel about that from the crypto perspective?
Oh, for sure. You can't do every social media platform, and Twitter's not the one that I engage in. But now knowing this news, I'm going to keep my eye on it, because if people are giving tips, I think that's great for them. Plus all these other things that they're tied to, the NFTs, Ethereum, whatever, all that stuff. I'm sorry. Damn it. Yeah. So more artists are going to naturally gravitate to Twitter. So more content's going to be created on Twitter, which will change. I think it'll be an up for Twitter. Where it's typically known for a lot of arguments, a lot of heavy political shit like that. This might clean up Twitter for the better. Not, just a little bit, just add good. The shit will still be there, but the good will. And then if artists are being paid direct from consumer, that's really what we want. That way people can do their passion and live. So I don't really have any jokes for that because I'm trying to do this right now. So I'm just like, love it. Let's go.
Do you have any issues with working for tips? I mean, at this point in time, if you're actually getting on Twitter, you're going to be working for tips, bro. Are you good with that?
Oh, dude, I danced at a gay club a couple times. Some of the best tips I ever made. And yes, absolutely. Let's go. If I can, I'll be launching my Patreon in a couple weeks. Tips all day. I'll put my Venmo up. If I put up a picture that I'm showing a little too much leg, I put in there, hey, if you sexually turned on, Venmo me here. I do an honor system when it comes to the nudes, or lewds as they call them.
So hey, Brad,
yeah, go ahead.
So I think my big concern has been, how can you be the CEO of two publicly traded companies? I mean, we talk about Elon Musk having multiple companies he's running, Jack Dorsey. These are two legitimate companies. Yeah. And as the CEO of both companies, does any of this crypto NFT worry you about Jack Dorsey and maybe where his focuses are? Is this a distraction, or is this good for the companies?
I think generally it's probably going to be good for the companies, and yeah, there's definitely cause for concern. But if it's one thing that we've been able to learn from Jack being able to essentially run both companies, is that he's been very good at it. Now you can make the argument that, well, what would happen if he just focused all of his attention on one? And I think that's probably the argument that a lot of people would make. And I guess we'll never really know that answer, but it would not surprise me in the least to just see these companies merge at some point. Twitter's had a hard time, monetizing their platform anyway. So it would just make sense at some point for these two companies to merge, even though Jack hasn't really alluded to that happening at all.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say is like it's a big bet, but what I will say the bear case is if it doesn't work, both companies go down. Not that they both go down, but like you're placing big bets on that.
Yeah.
And what movement can you get in Twitter? However, we've talked about this before about Twitter kind of being copycat. I do like that they're trying something new. So at minimum, they're not just copying what anybody else is doing. They're trying to blaze a trail. So I like that.
To me, it feels like Jack is, has Square as his legit company, and Twitter's like a side gig. That's literally
Yeah.
what it feels like.
Now, let's talk about the true legit company, and that's Apple.
Yeah.
Two questions. Neither of you guys know the question's coming, but great news initially off the iPhone 13. So we actually tuned in during our live stream to the Apple event. iPhone 13, to nobody's surprise, was launched. Here's the thing, man. The upcycle we talked about last year, it seems like this year may be the true upcycle, or even into the future to other models. A lot of people were kind of ho humming the iPhone 13 wasn't that much better than the iPhone 12. I didn't necessarily agree with that, but pre-orders are looking great. Year over year, the pre-orders compared to iPhone 12 up 20%. Beyond that, out of the 975 million iPhone users, some 250 million, so almost 30% of those have had their iPhones for 3 years or longer. That tells me a couple things. One is the quality of the product, obviously, but also the opportunity there is 3 years ready to upcycle. So that should be exciting for anybody in Apple or thinking about getting into Apple. Freddie, this isn't even this isn't even a legitimate question, but we've talked a lot about Brad's a green bubble, and you're a salesman, bro, and I need you to sell Brad on the iPhone 13. You don't even need to know what the iPhone 13 offers, but just the iPhone in general, because you're a blue bubble. Help me, bro.
I can't. Here's the thing. I'm a blue bubbled, but just as a matter of circumstance, I think Androids are a more superior phone than the iPhone. So if you're into it for the camera's better. I've seen it myself. So but the iPhone is just a sexier phone. So it depends on. I think Brad's an Android guy through and through. I like people to just be authentic in their expression, and I feel like the Android is. And another thing with all these, it's like 20% orders already. That is crazy. I think about the children that are going to be making those phones and how like how we're tribal, and like any group that you get into, there's always infighting, right?
Yeah.
And that like there's politics at like the phone camp or whatever that they go and make these phones. Like the people that do the microprocessors think they're better than the people that put the screens on and shit like that. Little passive aggressive, just like children.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because pre-orders in China exceeded 5 million across multiple platforms in the first day.
This is good. We're gonna have jobs for children. We're gonna have opportunity, growth.
Well, so Brad, thinking about Apple, and I mean, I think this is safe to say, bullishness should be at an all-time high. I think, as far as the iPhones are concerned, and it doesn't seem like it's slowing. So we're talking about 20% comparatively to the iPhone 12. That could grow, and on top of that, don't discount the. If you remember last year, Brad, I don't know if you remember, but like when the iPhone 12 came out, like Verizon, all the carriers, they actually didn't do a great job of pushing it out. And I think that's going to be a huge focus, especially for the likes of Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile. And so talk to me about what that aspect of it and what you see from Apple and this iPhone, the demand for the iPhone moving forward.
I mean, it just goes to show that Apple is going to continue to grow. As wild as it seems that you would think that Apple at some point is going to reach a peak or a plateau, and this is just a growth stock that's also a value stock, and it's going to continue to move up. I mean, taking advantage of the huge dips that we saw this week, and it really still hasn't caught up to the rest of the market. It's crazy to me. All the fangs are not participating in today's market rally, but I think that gives you more opportunity if you feel like you missed a boat when Apple ran up all the way up to 157 all-time highs. I think that with this sitting at 146, it's still a good value to me.
Where can it go, man? End of the year.
Good question. I mean, it still has to catch up to the rest of the market. It has not outperformed the S&P 500 today or this year, which is mind blowing. So we still get good numbers out of them, and we still have one more earnings report to hear from them, and I'm sure they'll give guidance as well that should be positive. I would say this probably has the potential to hit 170 by the end of the year.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And this is probably good information for you, Freddie. It may not make a lot of sense, but it eventually will. Don said if Apple never splits, so companies do stock splits. And I think one of the common things new traders look at is they just focus on the price of a stock. So Apple is $1.46 a share. The problem is every publicly traded company has a different amount of shares that they've sent out.
Mhm.
And so it's not really apples to apple. If Apple is $1.46 a share, Amazon's over $3,000 a share, Apple's still more valuable a company. So what Don had mentioned was that's because of stock splits. So it makes it more affordable for you and me to buy more shares.
Oh,
If
nice.
Apple never split, it would be at $33,000 a share,
Whew.
which is crazy because it's $146 a share. So if you had gotten Apple when it first went public, it would be worth $33,000 a share.
Yeah.
You would have more shares of it, but like without getting into the nitty gritty,
Yeah,
that's the craziness of it.
Wow.
But it's the formula, and that's why, not to get too much into Amazon and the other like Googles and stuff like that. Why aren't you doing a split? Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't make any sense because it gives more access, and a company like, as well known as Amazon and Google could really benefit off of that. But neither here nor there. I digress. Shout out to a couple stocks people are throwing around. Affirm keeps getting thrown around. Affirm's going off. So if you want to throw up Affirm's chart.
Yeah, it's still ripping. It surpassed the highs that we saw on September 10th. As we were talking about it, Freddie, that boner candle actually went up higher than what we saw on September 10th. So this thing's continuing to rip. I'm out of it. I actually sold my
Wow.
firm. I made around anywhere between, well, I sold up at 120. So I sold when I was up around 100%, sold the rest of it when I was still up around 75%. So this is a huge win for me. You actually watched the firm's earnings when I was away. If you remember, Freddie, you and Fat Man Zoom reacted to those earnings when it went off, and I believe that was that same day.
That was the
September
crazy
10th.
one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
the day
actually,
Freddie decided to get into trading.
yes,
Shout out to Affirm. Wow.
yeah. So it's still ripping here, going into the close. What a move.
All right. As we speak about close, couple key things. Lots actually went above $4. I don't know if any of our chaos crew still in that, but that was a promising mark. Clover is trying to get over 8, cannot get over 8, but it's still green on the day. We'll see how it looks next week. But Costco and Nike. So we have the earnings. If you want to start with Costco, we actually have a question about Costco. Will they announce a special dividend? But let's start with earnings, expectations for earnings, Brad.
Yeah, earnings expectations for Costco is $3.57. I'll be surprised if they don't beat that number. I saw that Don Fran from the Don Fran show asked about the special dividend. I think that we just saw one. The end of last year, beginning of this year.
Yeah.
Pretty recently. Usually Costco doesn't put out special dividends every year. They'd have to do something extraordinary for them to put out another special dividend, but I wouldn't put it past them. And usually the special dividend doesn't coincide with earnings. It's very random. I used to work for T. Rowe Price. Costco was our client, and even us at T. Rowe didn't know when the special dividend was coming. Their employees don't know when it's coming. They're very good at making it unpredictable. there are things that make sense. Like when it went crazy, when Costco went up 100% over the last 12 months, that's when like they were like, okay, here you guys go. You can have a dividend, have some money. But it's I don't know. I think it'd be too early for them to do a special dividend just yet.
Yeah, so the special dividend was back in April,
Okay.
and I know it feels like a long time ago, but it was a $10 dividend. I think
Yeah.
what's more likely is they would raise the dividend, um, then offer a special dividend.
Yeah.
However, they also back in April did raise the dividend about 12%. So I would imagine you'd probably wait again till next year to raise it, get through the holiday season, because they're going to be bullish going into the end of the year. So I don't know if you necessarily need that type of catalyst. You'd probably want to do it when it's going into slower time, but
Yeah.
it's certainly a possibility. However, if I put my money on they announce a dividend, I would anticipate a dividend hike as opposed to a special dividend.
Yeah.
You got all that, Freddie?
I heard dividend one too many times. I was like, I'm out of here.
My prediction, I mean, they should be, but bro, this is a high bar. Would you say 350, 357?
Let me go back. 357 a share. Yeah.
That's a high bar.
It is,
So
but it isn't. I mean, the retail spending has been just absolutely insane across the board, across the industry.
yeah, so if they beat, I think they slightly beat. I mean, I would anticipate they beat, but I don't think they're going to blow it out because they just set it so high. Look for outlook, guidance increase, continued bullishness in retail spending. Um, bearish side, supply chain, that's going to be the issue, especially for a company like Costco, big box. Moving on, Nike's the other one, and I love Nike. We haven't talked about it a lot recently, but what do we got for Nike?
Nike's estimated earnings per share are an average estimate of 111. So I think that they should knock that out of the park, unless we are still experiencing some of the supply chain issues. Last quarter didn't seem to be much of a problem. We'll see what happens again this quarter. There's also, the seasonality part of this, where this is typically a slow season for retail spending, in particular for athletic wear and all that good stuff. So wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of a slowdown on this particular quarter. But then again, I mean, with the way that we've been seeing people spend money has been just wild. So I think that it just wouldn't surprise me one way or the other. But I'm leaning towards the upside. I think they come in at $1.20 a share.
I mean, you look at Crocs, you look at Lululemon, you
Right.
look at the Under Armour. The story that's being told is they should blow it out.
Yeah.
I feel even more confident in Nike to blow it out. Have a great earnings. I'll also say technically Nike's been lagging a bit, and it looks like it actually is in a perfect position to freaking launch. So I'm actually excited for this more than Costco. I love Costco, don't get me wrong, but I think this could be potentially epic for Nike if they come in and increase guidance.
Don Fran from the Don Fran show's got him missing. Anywhere between 97 and $1.03 per share is what he's got it. But I think it's just because he's hoping they sell off. So he can
Well,
get
let's also Don, don't be trying to pull this new shit. You pick a number and you stick to it. Don't try to cheat and give a range. You give us your number. None of this 97 to $1.03. All right, I'll take 50 cents to $1.75. All right, I'm gonna go to Twitter. We'll pull up these extended hours, and we'll see once we get these numbers in.
We should have like Freddie do boots on the ground type of deal. Like,
Oh, that'd be fun.
If you're in, in whatever, a Costco and it's packed, you gotta tell us that it's packed. People, things are flying off the shelves. That'll be like on the ground due diligence.
Dude, that place, I love going there. I call it the trap house. It's great. I mean, have they done anything wrong? Because they've executed properly on everything. Even during the pandemic, they had the best system.
Yeah.
They move lines quick. Their employees are always happy. Like you can feel that they're fucking happy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's shout out. Yeah, Costco's the shit. I want to buy a Costco t-shirt. That's what I asked Rachel that the other day and she laughed. She thought I was joking, but I was serious.
By the way,
I don't play when
I
it comes
think
to
the other I think the other question is Costco hasn't announced a split for a very long time, but I would love to see Costco announce a split.
That would be insane. That would send the stock going crazy if a split took place. Right now, we're not seeing
Absolutely.
too much of a reaction out of either one so far. Although Nike's down 1%, I don't know if that is a reaction because we do have numbers, or if it's just typical after hours trading before earnings come out. So I'm not convinced that anything's going on just yet on that. But as soon as we do, guys, we'll give you those numbers. SG asked about a firm. We talked about a firm quite a bit already. It's been a monster. This has been something that we've talked about since I was in it at $61. I'm officially out as of this week. I hope for anybody who's still in that it continues to run. But listen, I made 100% on it, and I'm laughing all the way to the bank. I ended up buying some stuff that I thought was oversold, and it's rinse and repeat for me. But I wouldn't surprise me if Costco we've talked, or if a firm got scooped up by one of the bigger companies. I think it's an excellent merger candidate. So we love it. I still think it wouldn't surprise me if it continues to roll.
All right, I'm checking back in with nothing on Twitter yet for Costco.
Let's give a shout out to Anthony Costa. He says, I created my first portfolio of 25 companies and I beat the market for the first month of August, or for the month of August. Let's see how September goes. That's awesome, man. Good for you.
Hell yeah.
That's the way to do it. Said shout out to Dick's Sporting Goods. He bought it $104 a share. And where is that at right now? We love Dick's, by the way, around here.
I love Dick's.
Dick's is the best. And right now it's trading at
I can't get enough Dick's.
it's trading at $135 a share. So speaking of boner candles on Dick's, you just go to the monthly chart and you got a nice one. Holy crap. If you go to the monthly chart, look at that. Talk about boner. There's your boner candle on Dick's.
Wow. That's a Ron Jeremy. That's crazy.
Yes. Oh my God. Literally over the last, what is this? This is since April of 2020. So we're 18 months in and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 red months for Dick's. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right.
The level, you can appreciate it, Freddie. The level of sort of our comedic prowess is very low, but we enjoy our jokes.
Yeah, I appreciate all forms of comedy. As long as you're doing it purely and intentional, I'm with it. Let's go.
Yeah, dad jokes all around.
Yeah, I'm not pretentious with my comedy.
Oh shit. All right. Still waiting on official numbers from Costco and Nike. Nike right now turned green after kind of being a little red, but still no movement on that would signify that numbers are out just yet. Costco's kind of been a little bit all over the place too. It's up like 0.25%, nothing crazy there. So those are the two that we're really kind of waiting on. While we're waiting, Fat Man Zoom, what was your big winner for the day?
Oh, big winner for today was, let me take a look. I think it was Marathon Oil, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, oil went crazy.
My position, Marathon Oil was up 5%. Yeah, Marathon Oil was my big winner for the day. Solid day. I thought, I don't know. I was happy overall, but Marathon Oil was up 6%. American Express has been doing well. A couple of my positions turned green, so that's always a great feeling when they do that.
Yeah. For me, it was OIH, which is, you guys know, as the oil services ETF. So no surprise that Fat Man Zoom's Marathon was his big winner. That was my big winner as well. Followed up by Airbnb. Just an absolute monster. Airbnb is. And like I said, ended up trimming it. Got up to 175.45, and let's just take a look real quick, see what Airbnb has been doing over the last month or so. It's just been ripping. We go to the daily chart. So these are the daily candles, Freddie, and it's just been, just been on a tear.
Wow,
pretty solid move. So I ended up taking some profit on that. Still have 100 shares of it. I'm going to hold on to those pretty tightly, I think.
Which company is this?
Airbnb.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They started to really get a move on after the U.S. announced that they were going to ease up on some of the travel restriction internationally. So,
oh, nice.
It's been all the travel stocks have really been ripping.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about Delta. I have a position in Delta. That's actually just turned green for me. I believe it just turned green for me. But we talked about this, and I mean, Spirit Aerosystems is a good example. Obviously, Airbnb as well, but it's like you don't want to wait till reopen, right?
Yeah.
Like internationally, we have the news that it's beginning, but once travel starts kicking in and we get those numbers, by the time we wait for the numbers of travel being back, it's going to be too late for that.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to hear sort of how that demand goes through TSA as they give us announcements.
I agree. I have call options on Spirit Air Systems as well. $43 strike for the middle of next month, and I think we're starting to see that reverse as well. I mean, we've talked about Spirit at nauseum, but I think there's so much upside here. It's crazy, and to see this finally starting to break the trend here, going the other direction, that certainly feels good.
Man, we can't get either one of these guys' earnings.
I know. It's like, what are we waiting for here? If memory
while we're
serves,
waiting,
if memory serves, Costco does put theirs out pretty late, like at 4:30, I think.
That's because they're working right now. They're making sure their business is good before they do any extra shit. Costco's got the fundamentals down.
Yeah.
No flashiness.
Right.
They're so good that when they move, because they don't keep everything in the same section. When they move it, I'm like, okay, like you just got to find it. Like some people are like, oh, it was here last week. It's like Costco don't play like that. The customer isn't always right at Costco, and that's good.
It's perfect marketing because then you have to wander around the store and be like, oh, I didn't know I needed this, and now I do.
Shit, that's so true. Oh my God.
That's why they do it. So you're wandering around the store all day.
So you pass by that bakery or one of the $5 chickens that you eat in the car.
You can buy that coffin for when you die later.
Oh, they have coffins too?
Oh, you can buy a coffin from Costco, yeah.
They have them on site, or you got to order them?
I've seen photos of Costco's coffins on site, but for more than likely you have to order them.
I'll tell you what, Freddie,
you
those
can get
chickens.
What is the generic version of Costco?
Sam?
Kirkland. You get a Kirkland.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Get a Kirkland coffin.
Dude, Kirkland, they got it.
Freddie, let me tell you something, Freddie. Those chickens, those rotisseries, every time I get them, I'm like, oh, this is big. I'll make 2, 3, 4 meals out of this. I eat that whole damn thing, before I even get home.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's yeah. You give up on
Best
the whole
bang for your buck. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, I can go with that.
I always struggle buying roasted chickens like that have been cooked at the grocery store, only because they always seem so dried out. Is Costco's chicken's not dried out?
I've never had an issue with. Oh, I love
that'll
those
make
things.
you look like you have lip gloss on. That thing. Costco don't play, man. I'm telling you, they like. I would let Costco. If I got hurt and somebody was like, "Oh, the hospitals are full because of COVID. You got to do surgery at Costco." I wouldn't worry one bit. I'd be like, they got it figured out. Dr. Kirkland's gonna come out. He's gonna be like, "What? How can I help you?" He'll straighten you out.
Dr. Kirkland. That is hilarious. Guys, if you're just tuning in, we're still waiting on earnings calls from Costco and Nike. Still waiting to hear from them. Nothing just yet. Costco closed up on the day. Oh, we might have something.
Oh shit, what's that?
From Costco. Ooh, that's interesting. Costco's had some weird movement just now. Not sure what that is just yet. But anyways, we're getting some earnings numbers in. It looks like on Nike, it's dropping right now 4.5% after hours. That is the opposite of a boner candle, Freddie.
Yeah, that is yeah, you need some blue chew for that one.
That's I just saw my grandma naked
Yeah.
candle.
Or just a Jamaican guy on a hot day.
I thought that I was taking a woman home and ended up being a dude candle.
But at that point,
Excuse me.
those
All right, I
candles
was
happen
on
sometimes,
Twitter.
and you have a decision to make.
Listen, you never run into that. You think you're taking a girl home, you get her home, and it's like, well, somebody got played.
The closest that's ever happened to me is on the dating apps. They usually will write it on there, but they'll use like a shorthand. That's the closest is I've been on a dating app and I've stopped on somebody, and then I found out that they were a dude, and I swiped quickly. But no, never. I had a buddy in high school who went out and made out with the chick that was a dude.
You didn't know?
Nope. But we got the numbers for Nike.
There we go. That's what we got.
is this right? Was 355 their expected?
Yeah, 355,
Hold on,
357, somewhere around there.
Okay, 357. That's right. Came in at 376. They beat revenue. They missed. 12.5 billion was expected. They came in at 12.2 billion. Oh, disappointing. Nike. This might get ugly.
I mean, it certainly got ugly there right out of the gate. It's starting to claw its way back. I wonder if
Hold on, let me pause.
Go ahead.
Sorry, bro. I'm sorry. It's Nike was $1.11. They beat $1.16, and then the other numbers are correct.
Okay. So they beat $1. So the actual earnings per share were $1.16, you said?
Yep. Okay. Estimates were $1.11.
Yeah.
Costco was the one that was $3. So yeah, they did beat earnings per share, and they missed on revenue. You can't miss on revenue if you're a real retailer right now.
Yeah. That's interesting. I wonder if they'll speak to, because we saw you weren't hanging in for the FedEx earnings on Tuesday, but one of the key things that they had mentioned was that they're running into some supply chain issues, and obviously having trouble getting workers just to keep up with demand.
Yep.
And that trickles down to retailers just like Nike, and so I'm wondering if maybe that has something to do with it. We'll see. I would imagine that probably does. So we'll see what they say about their guidance. But yeah, Nike right now looks like they beat earnings but missed on revenue. And we'll see what their guidance looks like. But right now it's down 3% after hours. Costco.
And I have Costco in. Costco's earnings per share, they did beat. 357 a share was estimates. They came in at 376. Revenue, they slightly beat 61.3 billion, where the estimates came in at 61.44 billion.
And that's up 1% after hours right now. No, not surprising to see them beat. They set the bar high and they jumped right over it. Hitting 459, which are all-time highs for Costco. We come back out to the daily, and oh no, I'm sorry, just kidding. I thought it was 459. It's 469 is all-time highs for Costco. Nevertheless, pretty good earnings beat for them. Not as much of a strong reaction as I was thinking it would happen, but you said they came almost in line with revenue.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say this was anything out of the ordinary. The numbers that are coming here, it's a beat, but it's nothing that would really excite me. I mean, their comps are up 15% year over year. Their e-commerce is up 11% year over year. I don't know. Costco, that's fine. That's good. But I don't know if that like excites the market that, 11% isn't, tearing up the world.
Right. Either way, it looks good after hours still. It's up 1.25%. Had some pretty crazy movement here after hours. It got down as low as 448, now sitting at 458. So pretty solid move out of Costco. And then Nike is clawing its way back. Maybe this could try to go green here. It was down as much as 4% and now only down 2% after hours. Pretty Pretty interesting stuff. Doesn't seem like anybody in the chat cares about anything other than Crocs, though.
I
I'm
mean,
looking at the
listen.
side conversation, and everybody's about the Crocs.
As far as Costco is concerned, we've said this is not the sexiest thing ever. This is all it needs to do to keep trucking.
Yeah.
From a long-term perspective, you should be happy about this. You can just sit this in there, set it and forget it almost. But it'll just kind of just chip away. I mean, you're not going to get a 12% affirm move on Costco, but what you're going to get is just a consistent 1% here, 1% there, couple percentage points. But before you know it, Costco dominates over time.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Snookeroo said that Nike is saying that the ports are killing them. That's not surprising. We've seen a lot of that taking place, especially on the European side. That's affected Nike pretty considerably over the last several quarters. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But I think that it should be a good opportunity to scoop up some Nike because we got the holiday season coming up, and you can bet that Nike's going to more than likely do very well over the holiday season, especially with all the money that people are spending nowadays.
I love this comment by Savvy Money Show. If there's an apocalypse, go to Costco. The walls are concrete. You have months of food and drink, and the zombies can't get in because they don't have a membership card. Respect. So
That's funny.
That's hilarious. Savvy Money Show, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's from the UK. It's amazing that he even knows that.
Savvy Money Show had another banger in there referring to the children that are going to be making all these iPhones we're ordering. He had a good one in there.
See if you can find that one. Is Costco Mad Dicks? Love it. That's exactly what I did. Bought it $100 a few years back and forgot about it. I mean, that's it. Set it and forget it for Costco.
Yeah. And now you're up, 300, 400%.
Yeah. And Don says, good point. Stocks like Costco and Apple in your portfolio fund the YOLOs you take here. And they fund the YOLOs you take here and there. That's the thing is like people focus so much on like these spec plays, but the reality is like, we talk about, if you guys haven't seen the perfect portfolio where we talked about the balanced portfolio and we mentioned 75% of your portfolio, or we aim to have 75% of our portfolio long-term in reliable, steadfast blue chip companies that are going to be around like Apple and Costco. And then 25% could be speculative. Where people get in trouble when I see is when it's flipped around. 75%, they want that home run. And 25%, they're like, well, why do I want to buy Apple? Well, because Apple just prints money.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know they had Costco's in the UK, Savvy Money Show. That's news to me. Good to know, though.
They don't need coffins because they don't have all the guns that we have. So
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
no, yeah, I love guns too. It's fucking, you know what I'm saying? I'm not.
Oh, it's hilarious. All right. I think that does it. I think we're good, guys. Anybody else got anything else?
I will just say somebody asked Diageo or Moet Hennessy. Diageo all day.
All right, that's gonna do it for us, guys. Freddie, as always, thanks for hanging out with us, my man. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Guys, follow me on Instagram and TikTok. First and last name. It's up on the banner. Freddie Valoy. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chaos Crew. Thank you, Chaos Fathers.
Thanks for hanging out with us today, Freddie. And thank you guys for hanging out with us as well. On your way out the door, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, we certainly would appreciate it. And if you're not actually part of the Chaos Crew, I mentioned this earlier in the week. If your name right now in the chat is Gray, there's a slight chance you probably kiss your cousin. And if you don't, everybody probably thinks you do. So if you want to, you should probably turn that name green. And the only way you do that is hitting the join button next to subscribe. For $5.99 or $4.99, you get a watch list from us every single day. You get to help support the channel and the studio you see behind you. And we'd love to have you guys as part of the crew. So hit that join button, hit the like button, whatever. All that stuff on the screen, just push it. Doesn't really take a whole lot of energy to do that. And we'll see you guys on Sunday. We'll be live for Stock Watch Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And Fat Man Zoom will be back in the house. It'll be good.
Bye.
Bye.